Welcome back to Wendy Makes. My name is Callie, and today we are going to be making a double chocolate chip cookie skillet that's going to be slightly molten and chewy and just absolutely incredible. It's so simple to make, and in my opinion, it's better than a traditional cookie, and you are going to love it. So let's get right into it. But before we begin, as always, please remember to subscribe, like, share, chat in the comment section, and follow me on social media for more recipes and additional content. So these are the ingredients that we are going to be using. I have some brown sugar, granulated sugar. I have an egg yolk. I have some vanilla extract. Here I have some chocolate chips. So you have a couple of options. What I recommend doing, which is a game changer, is to buy a bar of dark chocolate, cut it up with a knife, and what you're gonna get are some larger pieces like this that are larger than what you would get from chocolate chips like this. And you're also gonna get some smaller pieces, and it's just gonna make the whole skillet, in my opinion, just so much more kind of chocolatey and ooey gooey in places, and it's incredible. But if all you have is chocolate chips, that works as well. In fact, I'm using a combination of chocolate chips and a bar of dark chocolate because that's what I have, and I wanted to get rid of a few chocolate chips that I had laying around. So you're gonna need that. If you don't want to use dark chocolate, you could use milk chocolate, semi-sweet, bittersweet, whatever you have, whatever you like. I have some salt, melted butter. I also have some flour, baking powder, baking soda, cocoa powder, and I have a little bit of instant coffee or espresso powder. Either will do. It's optional. If you don't want to add it in, you can leave it out, but it is going to add flavor to this recipe. So my oven is preheated at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and let's make this. So first off, I'm gonna grab, my dry ingredients. So that's my flour, baking powder, baking soda, my cocoa powder, and my instant coffee or espresso powder. I'm tossing in some salt right now, and I'm just gonna give this a quick stir to combine. Okay, that looks good. So I'm gonna grab my granulated sugar along with my brown sugar, and this I'm gonna toss in my eggs, or my egg and my egg yolk, and I'm gonna switch over to my handheld whisk. You could do this just with the spatula as well, and I'm gonna give this a mix until it's nice and creamy. Okay, perfect. So next goes in the melted butter. That is going in, and melted butter in cookies recipes makes the cookies chewy and gives them a really great texture. So that's why I'm going with melted. And who remembers to leave things at room temperature? I always forget to add butter to room temperature. So it's also kind of nice for that reason as well. I added in the vanilla extract, and I'm gonna give this a mix until it's combined. Okay, perfect. So next up, I'm gonna add in the dry ingredients and of course give it a mix to combine. And I just want to point out that you, I hope, have already seen on my channel that I have a brownie skillet recipe. I also have a chocolate chip skillet, cookie skillet recipe, which I will link both recipe videos for in the description box below. So check those out as well. And they are just so delicious. And I would say that this recipe is almost kind of similar in some ways to a brownie skillet. Not quite, but it's sort of similar in that it's just kind of like sort of fudgy in parts, and it's just delicious. But if you love this recipe, you're definitely gonna love those recipes as well, so check them out. So I'm gonna give this a mix to combine, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so next up, I'm gonna add in the chocolate chips, but I am going to reserve some of them to top over the skillet before it goes in the oven. I'll show you in a second what that looks like. So just reserve a little bit of the chocolate chips like so. I'm going to mix this until it's nice and combined, and then I'm gonna clean up, and then we'll finish this off. Okay, so as you can see here, I have a cast iron skillet that I buttered very generously. You wanna make sure to do that. And so next, all I'm gonna do is add the batter into the skillet. And I hope that you were able to see in this video that making this cookie skillet, it might sound a little bit more, you know, kind of fancy, I guess maybe is the word I'm looking for, or sophisticated than a traditional cookie, but it's just as simple to make, truly. If not, maybe even easier. So there's no reason not to make this recipe. So just using the spatula, and to be honest, clean hands, I'm just going to maneuver this batter around until it fits evenly inside of the skillet. Okay, that looks good. So now I'm gonna add the reserved chocolate over the top of the skillet, like so. And I'm telling you, it's going to not only make this cookie skillet just like look really beautiful when it comes out of the oven, but it's gonna add so much chocolatiness, and you really don't wanna skip this step. It's optional, but like I said, it's recommended. I don't know why you wouldn't do it unless you forgot. In that case, it's fine. Okay, so just gently kind of press them in. Okay, next up, this is gonna go into the oven for 20 to 25 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And I will show you what it looks like once it comes out of the oven, and you can get a sense of just kind of how slightly molten and chewy and just absolutely delicious this skillet is. And I also want to point out, if you want this cookie skillet to be maybe slightly molten in the center, because the edges will always just be a little bit more firm than the center, do not overbake it, okay? Because once this comes out of the oven and it sits at room temperature, it's gonna continue to firm up and set. So I recommend actually slightly under baking it. That way it'll kind of get to the perfect texture all on its own outside of the oven. So again, 20 to 25 minutes. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done, and you are just going to love it. So I'll see you then. Okay, so this baked in the oven for exactly 20 minutes. I let it sit at room temperature for a bit, and before you serve, you of course have to add some ice cream over the top. I mean, that is optional, but highly recommended, and enjoy. So as always, for the full written recipe and instructions, head to my blog, mooneymakesrecipes.com. I'll put the link for that in the description box below. Click on the link, the recipe will come right up, and make this double chocolate chip cookie skillet. I promise you're gonna love it, and let me know what you think, because I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.